Hi gang, Rob here. It is the afternoon of 3 March 2019, Sunday afternoon. A little bit of snow going on outside. Thought I'd stop by the camera, do a little knife review. And this, my friends, is a rather interesting candidate. Look at here, we have a red box that says Case XX. What? Case XX. Southern Grind, made in the USA. Interesting. On the end of the box it says model number CG01 drop point satin with black anodized handle. Very, very interesting. Before I open the box, let me read you a little copy. Ad copy, courtesy of Blade HQ, by way of case, I'm sure. The Case XX collection is a strategic collaboration between W.R. Case & Sons Cutlery Company and Zach Brown's Southern Grind Knives. Together, they've created the first flipper knife to join the Case lineup, the CG01. This model is equipped with a stonewashed S35 VN drop point blade and a black anodized aluminum frame lock handle. It includes a reversible pocket clip with a ridged thumb plate on the opposing side for secure everyday carry and easy draw from the pocket. The CG01 is an excellent folding knife and a promising first step for the Case XX collection by Southern Grind. What? Yeah. How cool is this? Shall we open the box and see what's inside? Frankly, this knife, which was sent along for review by my customer Drew, has generated in me a bit of excitement and anticipation. Let's see what we have here. We have the Case product quality information pamphlet. We're not going to bore you with that. It's all wadded up and stuck together, and then we have this sort of certificate of authenticity. It reads, Zach Brown's Southern Grind. Your Southern Grind product has been carefully assembled and inspected for quality. Assembled by Taylor, inspected by Sam. And then we've got a poly bag and a knife. Check out this bad boy, would ya? Okay, upon first glance, there are two knives which immediately spring to mind that this knife, in form at least, kind of reminds me of. Let's go back a few years. I think it does pay homage to the Case Folding Hunter. A couple different nomenclatures over the years. The Mako Shark and the Shark Tooth. The old wood and brass lockback hunter. If you look at the handle shape, I think you see what I mean. The big swell at the back, the sharp angle. And another knife, more recent, that it kind of reminds me of, not in mechanism, but with the aluminum handle, the ball bearing pivot, and the shape, would be the Buck Marksman. This doesn't look like any case knife I've ever seen. We've got a flipper, yes we do. Works very, very well. And we've got a beautiful, sharp drop point, glistening stonewash. Southern Grind does such a great job on their stonewash. Dramatic cut swedge. Saber ground flat. Perfectly executed sharpening choil. 150 thousandth stock, a long run of jimping, so kind of no matter how you want to grab it, the jimping is going to be in play. I spent a little bit of time with this knife, not actually cutting because it's in brand new condition, and I didn't want to go at Drew's knife too hard. Just sort of cutting some paper, holding it in a variety of grips. And ergonomically, well, it's about like an old lockback folding hunter, whether it be Case Mako, Case Shark Tooth, Buck 110, Schrade LB7. None of them had superb ergonomics, nor does this. It's not horrible. It got better the more I kind of played with it and figured out where it wanted my hand to be. So let's kind of look at the ergos. There's the sort of standard saber grip. Presents the blade at a dramatic angle down into the work, which is good. All belly, just superb cutter. Ergos in the saber grip are really solid and comfortable. Let me hold it in the right hand so I can tell you about the clip. The clip is completely unobtrusive in the grip. Really can't tell it's there. The offside thumb plate doesn't get in the way at all, even if you're holding it with the wrong, it doesn't matter. If you go to the hammer grip, it really doesn't afford a forward grip. The only hammer grip I'm going to be concerned about is the properly placed one. And again, clip is totally not an issue. The spine fills the hand nicely. Not a lot of walking into the hand during hard cutting. The draw cut grip is phenomenal. Now I do notice the clip, it sort of falls between my ring and pinky. It lets you know real quick where it wants your fingers to be, but once your hand is there, not a problem at all. Again, very hand filling at the spine. Not going to be a problem. If we go reverse grip, the knife's really not made for that. You might reverse grip it with the thumb wrapped. The self guard afforded by the flipper is going to keep your hand nice and secure, but I don't think this is really a tactical knife. And then the vertical draw cut, really comfortable. And this, I think, is where the length of the handle shines. This surface right here kind of melts into the palm of your hand in that vertical draw cut and makes it really comfortable. In the area that it's going to be stressed, it's going to force that. When the blade is forced in this direction, that butt is forced right into your hand. Super comfortable. So ergonomics are a little non-standard, but they're pretty good. Let's talk about mechanics. Aluminum frame lock. Okay, hard black anodized aluminum frame lock. Because it's not integral, I believe that's a hard anodized aluminum backspacer. Any adjustments that are going to need to be made in the aluminum lock bar don't need to be scary. And what I'm referring to there would be the Lion Steel SRA series of knives, the 1 and the 2. You can adjust the lock bar on those knives only in one direction. You know, if the SRs are too tight, giving you a little too much detent, or they don't drop extremely freely because of lock bar tension, you got about one shot to adjust them. You can't bend them back because they're integral. The CG01 is going to afford the ability to do that for minor adjustments. For lockup, we've got a hardened stainless steel insert and a corresponding over travel stop, which I really like considering the aluminum material used. Pocket clip is the Shorty Southern Grind, which is a plenty fine clip. I do find it a little difficult to insert into the pants on this knife. If you notice where the pinch point is, only about 20% of the clip is touching frame, and then it's in the air on the lock bar relief, and it's quite tight. So the pants kind of bind into that void and don't necessarily slide up the clip readily. I'm not sure what would have been the best solution for that. Maybe to change the profile of the lock bar relief, bring this cut forward just a bit, change the angle. See how it's kind of an obtuse angle, but it's not horrible. I think you could tweak the clip tension a little bit and make it better, but it doesn't seem to drop where it needs to drop. You have a generous lanyard hole. Reference Paramilitary 2 and Para 3. Lots of spider cuffs. Nicely milled handle. The contours are really, really well done. Got a little Osborne-y thing going on there. Not a bad idea at all. So there is your drop-free bearing action. There is your perfect blade centering. Here is flipping action with no fingers on lock bar. Beautiful. That was with authority. Now let's try kind of a gentle flip with authority. Now I'm going to put my fingers on the lock bar and see what happens. Knife still flips. Might take a little more effort, but no death lock. Beautifully done. It's sort of one of those all-purpose flippers. You can light switch it, and it's nicely jimped. It grabs your skin. Light switch is very easily, and because it's behind the axis of the pivot, you can just push straight down. So it works very, very well. Super well designed flipper, super nice operating ball bearing pivot. It's kind of mechanically what you'd expect at this stage of their game from Southern Grind. Now we're going to get into the blade, and I kind of have a meh reaction to the blade. I don't think it's aesthetically that great. I don't necessarily love how the height of that saber grind seems to narrow near the tip. The knife is quite thick behind the edge. Measuring it right here in the midst of the belly, it's about 33 thousandths thick behind the edge. I don't know what angle this factory edge is applied at, but I would suspect something in the 21 or 22 range. It's kind of hinder wedgy. But it's got a nice acute tip. So I guess, you know, for a utility knife that has some pointiness in the tip, you know what my buddy Mike Stewart says, a knife without a sharp point is pointless. So, you know, it's kind of southerny, isn't it? When it comes right down to it. Not a horrible blade shape. This doesn't catch my eye right. I do think it has a fair amount of visual tension, though, between handle and blade, which is a good thing. The pointy tip, pointy butt, kind of rocks. By the way, pocket extraction is well afforded by this jimped thumb plate. Just grabs the thumb like crazy to get it out of the pocket. That's a really nice idea. Better than just a filler tab. It actually provides some function. Dimensions. Well, let's see. 3 1/8 inches, I believe, is the blade length. Let me look at my spec sheet here. Oh, I'm wrong. 3 3/8 is your blade length. Then 5 inches of handle. That blade to handle ratio a bit out of whack, a la old lockback folding hunter. You can kind of see there's the tip, okay? So the tip is about here, right at the point of that. That's right where the screw is for the thumb plate. And then you've got, I don't know, man, a good another 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch of handle behind where the tip terminates. So that's why that's a little out of whack. There's a lot of knives, though, that we don't ding too hard for that. Paramilitary, too. And it's a pretty good knife in hand. As I said, I believe the blade stock thickness is 150 thousandths. The thickness of the handle is 1/2 inch. And it's about 1 1/8 top to bottom in the pocket, so relatively slim. Not bad at all. 1 3/32, actually. I think this is a really, really credible first effort in this collaboration between Case and Southern Grind, and I really hope it continues with some fresh designs. Good to see Southern Grind making a ball bearing flipper. Yes, I really said that. Not that I mind the washer pivot and the Bad Monkey and the Spider Monkey. I kind of like them, but this works well in today's market, I think. Very cool knife, and I have really zero quality issues with the knife. It is one buttoned up package. Just the one design thing I would probably work on would be how that shorty clip works together at the pinch point with the handle. But I'm not going to kill the blade shape too bad because it's the first of many, I'm sure. There's also a Tonto point blade available for this model, as well as a red handle, I think, as of the making of this video. This is the black drop point CG01. Pretty cool. Can't wait to see what happens next. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word and Drew's Southern Grind Case XX are sharp.